What's going on, everybody? This video we're going to look at how to construct a box and whisker plot from our 5-number summary. So this is really neat. This is really useful. Now we're starting to get into graphical display of our mathematical data sets. And so what I need to know is I need to be very familiar with my 5-number summary. So if you remember, my 5-number summary is my minimum, it's my Q1, it's my median, or Q2, Q3, and my maximum. And quite simply, that's all the box and whisker plot is, because the box and whisker plot is going to be a dot for my min and my maximum. It's going to have a box formed around my Q1 and my Q3, and then the line in the middle is going to be my median. It's that simple. Now, notice all of this is going to be on a number line. That number line is going to be whatever our data is. If my numbers are, say, between 20 and 50, maybe I'm going to go up by 5s, and maybe my numbers are between 500 and 1,000. Maybe I'll go up by 100s. Okay. So there's a ton of different ways that we could, write my numbers. And that's what we're going to look at throughout this video. But it's very simple. Again, I just want you all to be very familiar with the 5-number summary and drawing my box and whisker plot. And with that being said, I typically follow 3 simple steps. Or I guess 4, but we'll make it simple. Step 1, draw my line. Step 2, plot your dots. That's my min and max. Step 3, draw my box. And finally, step 4, connect it all. That's it. Draw your line, plot your dots, draw my box, and connect it all. So with that in mind, let's jump straight into our first example. So this example says, construct a box and whisker plot for the following data. Well, first thing that I need to make sure is that all of my data is in order from least to greatest. To make my videos a little bit easier, I go ahead and put the numbers in least to greatest. But again, make sure that my numbers are in least to greatest, and they are. And I want to find my 5-number summary. I want to find my minimum. I want to find Q1. I want to find Q2, or my median. I want to find Q3, and I want to find my maximum. So first thing I find, once my numbers are in order from least to greatest, I find my min and max. That's always going to be the easiest way, or the easiest 2 things to find first. So my minimum's at 4, my maximum's at 23. And next, I'm going to find my median. So remember, to find my median, I'm going to cross off my first, cross off my last. And then we continue this pattern until I'm left with either 1 or 2 numbers in the middle. If I have 2 numbers in the middle like I do here, I'm going to take those 2 numbers and I'm going to find the average. I'm going to find the mean of the 2. And I find the mean by taking both numbers and adding them, and then dividing by however many numbers that I have. 12 plus 14 divided by 2. Well, 12 plus 14 gives me 26. Divided by 2, that gives me 13. So 13 is going to be my median. That's really simple. Now, what I can do is I can look for my Q3 and my Q1. When I have 2 numbers in the middle, I'm going to separate them with these. I just kind of use parentheses to keep them separate, because this is the upper half of my data, and this is my lower half. So again, sometimes we may not have seen that before, but when finding the median, if I have 2 medians or 2 numbers for the middle, I'm going to separate those. And once I do that, Then I'm going to cross off, cross off, cross off, and, well, better yet, these two numbers are going to become my Q1. And I'm gonna take 8 plus 9 and divide that by 2. Well, 8 plus 9 is 17 divided by 2. That equals 8.5. It is a-okay to have decimals for my answer. Next, I want to do the same thing over here. We cross off, and I wind up with two numbers in the middle. This is kind of easy. What number comes in the middle of 18 and 20? I know that to be 19. You may not have seen that trick before. Sometimes you can see what the middle number would be. Otherwise, we can take 18 plus 20, divide that by 2. I get 38 over 2, and that simplifies to give me 19. So, let's stay uniform. So now that I have my 5-number summary, I can do some pretty neat things. And that neat thing would be my box and whisker plot. Now, I'm looking at my numbers, and my numbers start at 4, and they end at 23. So when I make my number line, I want to pick a number to go up by that's going to be fairly easy for me to keep up with and be able to predict where my points are going to go. Maybe in this particular case, I'm going to go up by 5s. So we'll start right here at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, I'm going to spread out just a little bit more. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And so now, think about what our steps are. Step 1, draw my line. Step 2, plot my dots. Well, I have a minimum, which is going to be a dot. I'm going to plot that around 4, and I'm just estimating where that's going to be. Then I have another dot at 23, and that's going to be about right here. And then I'm going to draw my box. Now my box is my Q1 and Q3. Those are the ends of my box. And so I have one end of my box at about 8.5, and I'm estimating, I'm guessing that's about right there. I have one end of my box right here at 19. I'm estimating that to be there. And then I have my median, which is also the middle line of my box at 13. And then remember, step 3 is draw my box. So now I've drawn my box. And what's step 4? Step 4 is just connect it all. I'm actually going to make this a little bit nicer and prettier up here. But boom, there is my box and whisker plot. I have my minimum here. I have Q1 here. I have my median, or Q2. I have Q3. And we have our maximum. And that is my box and whisker plot. Very easy. So let's try another example. So here, they want us to draw a box and whisker plot for the following data, and they want me to label everything. So first thing I do, make sure all my numbers are ordered from least to greatest. They are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my minimum. I'm going to find Q1. I'm going to find my maximum. Oh, sorry, not my maximum. My median. I'm going to find Q3. I'm going to find my max. So once my numbers are in order, I can find that min and max really easy. Minimum is 8. Max is 50. Next, I want to find my median. So I'm going to cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off. Done, done. And then I'm left with 2 in the middle. Take those off to the side. 21 plus 22 over 2. Well, 21 plus 22 is 43 divided by 2. That equals 40. Oops, not 41. That equals 21.5. So I have a median at 21.5. And then I want to find my Q1 and Q3. So I'm going to cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, and I'm left with 14. I'm going to cross off, and I'm left with 41. Now, unlike my other example, these numbers are a little bit more spread out. So I could go up by 5s again, or I could go up by 10s. It doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to go up by 5s just because I can see my data a little bit better there. So I'm going to draw my number line. And this time, I'm going to put 5 here, 10, 15, 20, 25. And it's very important for us to try to stay as organized as we can. I'm trying to keep all the spacing between my lines as even as I can. Now, obviously by hand, it's not going to be perfect, but I want to make sure that everything is spaced out pretty good. So that was step 1. Step 2 is draw my dots. So I have a dot at 8. I have a dot at 50. I'm going to draw my box. And I have one end of my box at 14. The other end of my box at 41. So about right there. It's about as best as I can get. 41 will be about right here. And then my median is the middle line of my box. And that's at 21.5. Step 3, finish connecting all that box. And then step 4 is connect it all. And that, well, actually, sorry. We've got to label everything. So we can label our min, our Q1, our median, or Q2, Q3, and my maximum. And that is my box and whisker plot. So I hope you guys feel really good with drawing and creating these box and whisker plots. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.